Walking down these empty streets, echoes of the past I meet. Lost and wandering for so long, searching for where I belong. Sunrise breaking through the night, guiding me back to the light. Every step feels like a prayer, promises hang in the air. Come back home, heal your heart, where the love never parts. Come back home, find your peace.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the Dear Brother Podcast. Good morning, everyone. Hope your morning is going great. Hope you woke up with some cheer in your heart. I woke up this morning feeling like mad love for people. Mad love to serve and mad love to give. But good morning, everybody. I hope that you woke up well. I hope you rested well. If you didn't, man, let's spend some time together this morning. If you'd had a rough day yesterday, man, that's why we're back together again today. I thank God for this community, man. I thank God for what we do together. I thank God for what we mean to each other. Our community is amazing. And I'm not just saying it because it's my podcast. It's our podcast. Our community is not great because of what I do or say. It's great because we created something here where people feel comfortable, even on the Dear Brother Podcast, where the ladies even feel comfortable coming in and being amongst us. This is a great, great podcast, man. And I'm so thankful to be a part of it. I got a half-hour show today, maybe 27 minutes. I got to get baby to school this morning. But I want to talk about five things that our children need from fathers. 5 things that our children need from us. Fathers are very important, y'all. And I want to talk about fatherhood. Again, I got a half-hour show, y'all, so I'm going to get right into it. But let me see who's in the room. Say good morning if you're in the room. Let me greet you, man. Let me greet you. Good morning, Xavier, my guy. Good morning, everybody. But let me get into this, y'all, because I don't want to have to part two this. I want to get right into it. I want to talk about 5 things that our children need from us as fathers, right? I had my first kid at 22. I had no clue how to be a father. I want to say this to fathers out there. Number one, when that baby comes out the womb of the woman, of your wife, your girlfriend, there's no rule book that comes with that child. You don't know how to be a father. Let me just start out like that. You don't know how to be a father. It's like when people ask you and you go and say, my wife's pregnant, people say, you ready? Well, the answer is always no. The answer is always no. You can't be ready. You can't be ready for what having a new life in your life cost you. Number one, being a father calls for you to be sacrificial. It calls for you to be sacrificial. I think a lot of men struggle with fatherhood because we think that we can be who we were before we had those kids. Fatherhood completely changes your life. It completely changes your life. And I'm not talking about what you can't have fun now and things like that. No, it's a mindset. It's a mindset that says, I don't matter more than what I've brought into this world. You don't matter more than your kids. It's the facts. It's the facts. And in order to be a good father, now you can be a father, you can make a baby, but in order to be a father, you have to have a mind of sacrifice. This is where I'm at. This is what I'm doing, right? I mean less now, right? My needs mean less now. Let me give you an example. Y'all see me on this podcast every morning. And if y'all go back through all of them, all the videos, and some of y'all are on here with me every day, you see me in the same hoodies, right? You see me in this, and they're all old. They're all stupid. They got paint on them, right? You know where this paint comes from? This paint comes from my daughter saying, Daddy, I want a pink room, right? And I had to get this pink room done for her by her birthday. She wanted a pink room with green dots all over the walls. And so that's the dad I am, man. I don't care about this stuff. I don't care about what I really wear, man. As long as my son is in his second year of college and I'm paying his tuition cash. You understand what I'm saying? That matters more to me than having on, it's a sacrifice. It's not only a sacrifice of material things. It's a sacrifice of your time. It's a sacrifice of your effort. It's a sacrifice, man. And that's what fatherhood is. Let me tell you this. Let me give you a definition. Fatherhood is sacrifice. Fatherhood is sacrifice. Okay? For a great father, fatherhood is sacrifice. You'll never be a perfect dad because being a father is ever learning. You're learning every day what your child needs. And guess what? As your child gets older, the needs of your child changes. So now you have to begin to continue to shift what your kid needs. What my son needed at 5 is not what he needs at 20, right? My son is 20 now in his second year of college. He don't need me to baby him. I had to shift now from being a dad that would encourage him, push him, challenge him. My 17-year-old twins, they'll be 18 next month. They don't need the same thing from me that they needed when they were 4, right? They're about to be 18. My 7-year-old, she needs something different when she was 2 than she needs at 7. Now I find myself in the car picking her from school or taking her to school. We talking. We conversing. Well, how was your evening? You had a good rest, baby? How was your day at school? What was lunch like? What did you learn? And she's telling me. See, so fatherhood is sacrifice. But let me get into these 5 things that our kids need from us as dads. Let me see who's in the chat first. Good morning, Jess. Good morning, Natasha. Good morning, my people. We are your people. You are our people, yo. This community is amazing, and thank God for y'all, man. I really do. Really do thank God for y'all. Number one, the first thing that I believe that a child needs, again, this is just from my teaching. Somebody might give you a whole nother 5 different things. What I believe as a father of 5, I'm sorry, I had triplet girls. I lost my oldest triplet at 4 months years old, 4 months. That's when you talk about me, when I talk to you guys about me eulogizing my child. Her name was Lydia. She was the oldest of the triplets. They came a minute apart. Lydia, Hannah, Morgan. Boom, boom, boom. Right? So I lost my daughter. So as a father of 5 children, even in losing my child, I had to learn how to be a dad in that. What does that mean? To be a dad to a baby that only made it 4 months. What does that mean to support her mom in that moment? You see? So fatherhood is big. I think that I want to stay on fatherhood for a few weeks, but let's get into it. Number one, the first thing a child needs from their father is emotional presence. Emotional presence. Being there. Not having the right words to say, not knowing exactly how to hold the bottle and whatever else. Your kid needs emotional presence. They need to know that you're there. One thing my dad always did, I played high school football for Germantown High School in Philadelphia. And my dad was a cop, so his schedule was all over the place. And sometimes he would be free, sometimes he wouldn't. But every Friday, I would look up in the top of the stands, and my dad would be right there. His presence, you hear what I'm saying? Sometimes he would have to leave before I could see him. But I will never, ever forget seeing my father in those stands every single Friday for 4 years of playing football. His very presence there, it meant so much to me. I want to say this to you, dads. Sometimes just being there. You hear me? And what I did was when my son started playing different sports, I followed the same lead. Right? I remember I was preaching in Baltimore one week, and it was my son's first wrestling match. Right? So I went down to teach on a Friday, and I caught the train back on a Saturday, had to be there by 9 a.m. from Baltimore. I caught the train back just to see my son's first wrestling match. And when he saw me walk in, right, you can see something changed in him. It's something about your father gives you courage. Your father, the presence of a father makes you feel like you can do anything. You hear me? So I want to talk to you dads, and you guys out there who are not dads yet, hold on to this, man. It will make you an incredible father. So emotional presence means how you listen actively when they talk, right? Your children want to talk. Your children want to talk. The question is, they know whether you're emotionally connected to what they're saying. Why? Because are you actively listening? Validating their emotions. In validating your children's emotions, it builds trust between the two, right? If your kid knows I can always go to my dad and my dad will always say, hey, hang in there, it builds a trust. What's that trust? That means when I'm not doing so good, your kid will still come to you. See, because trust is built, that means I can talk to my dad when it's tough. I can talk to my dad when it's good. But you got to be able to open yourself up. And a lot of us we weren't taught to be open as dads because a lot of us weren't raised by fathers that were open. My father was present, right? He wasn't very emotionally open, but he knew always being there. See, my father didn't have a father. My father left, my grandfather left my father and his siblings when they were 2 years old, right? And so one of my father's things was, I don't know how to be emotional dad, but I will never leave you like your grandfather left. You understand? So his presence meant so much, right? Also, your emotional presence for your child, it teaches your children vulnerability, right? Emotional presence, not just being there, but emotionally connected. It teaches your children that vulnerability is not scary, that vulnerability is strength, right? When you are that big, loving father who sits back and listens to your kid, they're seeing this big, bold man listen with a loving ear. What that means is, especially for if you're raising a son, it shows your son that manhood is not tough and rumble, right? That a great part of my manhood is sitting back listening and hearing. That teaches sons heart, right? It teaches sons that being a man is more than being tough. It teaches daughters what a husband looks like. It teaches daughters that I don't have to settle for a man who's just rough and gruff. Fatherhood in the daughter's life, emotional presence in the daughter's life, teaches the daughter what kind of man she should be around, what kind of man deserves her presence. So number one, emotional presence your children need from you most. Number two, goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Let me see who's in the chat. Yes, showing up is imperative. Absolutely, Kamara, absolutely, for sure. All right, let me get it. Number two, leadership and guidance. Leadership and guidance. What does that mean? That means, are you setting an example through action, not just words? Are you setting an example for your kids? As a father, are you setting an example for your kids through actions, not just words? Meaning that do this what I'm saying, but sometimes we joke, do what I say, not what I do. That sounds funny and cute, but it's the dumbest thing in the world. It's the dumbest thing in the world. You know why? Because kids don't follow words, they follow actions. You understand? If a father says to do something, the kid will do it out of fear. But if a kid sees a father doing something, then he does it out of grace. He does it out of love. He does it out of learning. You understand? So your kids will follow you more as you act, more than they will as you say. You understand? And so, but that's very important, because what leadership and guidance teaches your kid is it encourages them critically thinking, right? And when they see you acting out, it encourages them to think. And I think what's wrong, one of the biggest problems in society today is our children lack critical thinking. We do. Our children lack critical thinking. And I'm going to say this, and sometimes when I say this, it means that it might be rough to some. But children learn critical thinking from their fathers. Why? Because fathers are logical. Mothers are emotional. Right. And when I say emotional, I don't want to say emotional as if emotional is bad. That's the way God made women. Right. So a lot of times what the mother teaches the child is emotional connectedness, where they're not scared of how they feel. That's what mothers teach. But what fathers teach is critical thinking. Right. Especially with daughters. When you teach your daughter critical thinking along with her mother's emotions, it balances the child. That way the child isn't lost in her emotions. And she's also not lost in critical thinking. That's why children need mothers and fathers. That's why we got to stop just making babies. Oh, come on, gentlemen. If I'm going to teach you, I'm going to challenge you. Stop just making babies with women you don't know whether you even like or not, because your kid deserves more than that. You understand what I'm saying? Your kid deserves more than that. Now, I know somebody would challenge that. I'm not going to stay here long, but I know someone would challenge, well, Christian, I thought that I did like her. No, bro, you knew that you didn't like that woman when you laid down with her. Stop it. Because a man knows whether he's in love with a woman or just enjoys her company. So cut it out, okay? Let me tell the truth for you, okay? Let me tell the truth for you. Or you were just being reckless. But you got to admit some truth, bro. You got to admit some truth. This is I'm going to do another podcast for fathers of broken homes, because there's a lot of things that go on in there. But the reality is your children need your guidance for critical thinking. Number 3, time and attention. Time and attention, man. Your kids need time and attention. Now, me raising my kids early on, I was the breadwinner. I had to go get it. That's why I had to travel the world and teach and write books and all that. While my children, my son was born when I was 22. My triplets were born when I was 25. Um, and so I didn't have a lot of time because I was always on the road, right? But I learned later on when I got older, I looked back and said, wow, I wish I had given my children more time because I would have learned more about them. I would have learned more about the intricate details of their lives. Let me say this. When you hear stuff like this, learning the intricate details of your children's life, that's not a mother's duty. Now, mothers are going to be there because mothers are nurturer, but it's not only the mother's duty to be involved in the intricate details of a child's life. Your child needs you to know them, right? So you're not saying, oh, they crazy, they just acting up. No, it's a reason why children act how they act. And as a father, if you spend time with them, you'll understand. And when you spend time with your children, they'll be less disciplined, right? I promise you, your children will act different when you understand them because you're not approaching them in a way that they're crazy and need to be fixed. You're approaching them in a way to say, you know what, kid, I understand you because I spent enough time with you to know your ebbs and flows. Listen, I'm talking about fatherhood, y'all. And a lot of this isn't being taught. People are making babies every day, but fatherhood isn't being taught. A lot of us are guessing at what fatherhood is. We're guessing. We're completely guessing at what fatherhood even means. Right? We are. Even some of us that had a dad. I had a dad. But again, my dad didn't know how to be a father. My dad just knew how to show up. Right? So I knew how to show up. My kids will always tell you, listen, I ain't never got to look for my dad. I ain't never got to where daddy at. No, daddy's always there. But I had to learn more than what my father gave to me because he only had part of fatherhood. He had the part of showing up. But I had to learn the intimate details of what it meant to really be a dad to my kids. So time and attention. Time and attention, it creates intentional moments with your kids. Intentional moments. Like the other day, me and my my youngest baby, we were, the game where you put a little bit of water in the bottom of the bottle of water and you put the top on and you try to flip it so it lands. Me and my daughter wound up playing that game for like an hour. One random day, right? She did her homework and we just started playing this game for an hour. And she's having a ball, right? You know what it did? You know what it did? It took her away from technology. It got her away from her little gadget where she plays her little Roblox and all that. It showed her that there's a world outside of technology. And listen, guys, the addiction to these phones and technology for a lot of our children is because we're not playing the games with them, right? We're not doing the things with them, right? Another thing I did was I went and got the big giant chalk and I would lay on the ground with my daughter and draw on the ground with her, right? I'll show y'all a picture one day. Then we would stand on it and take a picture with me and her. It separates your child from the world. It separates your child from feeling like they got to be grown. Right? The more big time dad you are, the less your kids want to grow up fast because they start to embrace what it is to be a little kid with daddy. Right? So I don't need to grow up fast. I don't need to be, your daughters don't need to be learning how to twerk because YouTube's teaching them how to twerk when you can be teaching them how to fish. Man, I'm teaching today. You hear what I'm saying? I'm teaching not against you to challenge you. Number one, I'm never on here to destroy anybody. I'm always on here to challenge you to be better in whatever I'm teaching. But you know what I'm teaching against? I'm teaching against the subtle enemy that's challenging our kids. I'm teaching against the subtle enemies that's messing with our daughters' self-esteem, where they're stuck on TikTok and YouTube watching girls with these bodies. And now your 12 or 13-year-old girl feels like she's worthless unless she has this body, or she's chubby. She feels like, oh, I'm worthless unless, you know how many of our daughters get into all kinds of what's the word I'm looking for? I can't get the word. I won't hold it up. But what anorexia and not eating or throwing up what they eat, all because they're trying to fit this image. Do you know, as a dad, you give your daughter an image of beauty. Oh, teach, Christian. You're giving your daughter's image of beauty when you say what beautiful is. Don't let Instagram define beauty for your daughter. Don't let Joe Rogan's show Define manhood for your son, right? That's why we have so many unintelligent, not in touch men who are trying to be bros and dudes and cool guys, because we're not teaching manhood. We're not teaching stability, right? We're teaching what you drive makes you a man. What you got in the bank makes you a man. I was a man when I was homeless. You know why? Because when I was homeless, you know what? My kids never knew it. You know what? Oh, y'all got to stay with mom right now because I'm getting some stuff done. But my kids saw me, right? I hustled and was able to get money. I was doing the same thing with my kids when I went back to a parking lot to live in a parking lot in a car. They never knew it. I was still being a man, even in those moments, because manhood isn't about what you got. Manhood is about who you decide to be, no matter what's going on. Let me check the chat. What time is it? All right, I got 6 minutes, y'all. I got 6 minutes. Eating disorders. Yes, thank you, Kamara. Good morning, Ryan. Good morning. Huh? Good morning, y'all. Man, yes. It's okay. Okay. So listen. When you spend time and give your children attention, the long-term impact is they'll prioritize, right? They'll prioritize interaction. And I'm going to tell you, in the day we live in now of technology, where people are talking to Chat GPT and they're trying to get us in this meta world, it is our oh man, I wish I had time. It is our responsibility as men and as fathers to draw our families back to humanity. I'm telling you, please listen to me. I'm talking to you prophetically. Please listen to me. And I'm not talking about church when I say prophetically. I am a spiritual man, very connected to God. And it's not church that connects me to God. It's my heart that connects me to God. I listen to him and I see way more of God in this world. And I see the challenges of the enemy in this world. The challenge of the enemy now through technology is to disconnect us from each other as humans. That's why you can go to a restaurant and see a family sitting there and everybody on their cell phones, right, waiting for their food, separated from each other. Think about it. You got your whole family, all y'all in one room, and everybody on their cell phone. You see, we say, oh, that's just their phones. No, I'm telling you, there's an enemy in this world right now that's trying to break human interaction. They're taking us farther and farther and farther from each other. Please listen to me. It's a trick. It's a trick to break down humanity where we trust computers more than each other. I want you to see this. Please see this. I'm begging you to see this. Y'all never heard me talk like this, but I'm telling you that there is a crushing of humanity where we depend on computers, we depend on technology, and we don't depend on each other. I'm telling you, that's where the enemy of this world is trying to take us. And it's the duty of fathers, it's the duty of men to restructure the need for human interaction in this world. Sometimes when you get with your children, tell them, put them phones down, talk to them. How are you feeling? What's going on? When was the last time you were sad? Why were you sad? You see, the computer's not asking your kids that question. The computer don't care about your kid. You do. And you got to take your kid, your wife, your family back from this demon of technology. Oh, Christian, you calling a technology demon? Absolutely. You know why? Because technology isn't even smart without humanity. Do you know this beast called technology? We're feeding that beast to take us over. I'm saying this because this is how men think, right? You can't be so caught up in these damn football games and Heisman Trophy winners, then you are seeing what's happening in the world. Do you hear what I'm saying, men? They got us so distracted where they got us so caught up on everything else where we're not even seeing what's happening to our families or seeing what's happening to society. Do you hear what I'm saying? They're trying to feed us fake food. They're trying to make up fake food for us to eat. Do you understand? Do you understand the role of a dad now is to start figuring out how to plant a garden? I see y'all. Some people gonna think I'm tripping. Other people that have a spiritual ear are gonna hear me as a man. Do you know it's time right now for you as a father to get one pot and grow one thing just to teach yourself you can grow food? Because the world is trying to give us something that we can't even eat. The world is trying to give us all kinds of craziness that's killing us. You need to start paying more attention to how to protect your family, not with a pistol, right? No, that's not the best protection for the family. The best protection for your family is your wisdom, your stability, and your presence. Let me see. Let me see. Oh God, I'm skipping. Ron, this is a fact. I have this conversation very often. My students are probably tired of me. Man, guess what? They tired of you now. They're going to grab a hold of you later on, Ron, because they're going to see the world is going to become just what you're saying. And then they're going to say, you know what? Ron was right. Brittany Christian, good morning, my sister. God help. Absolutely. We better wake up. See, but this is the thing. I want to say this. And I hope this offends nobody. Okay. I hope this doesn't offend anybody. But see, Brittany, see your thing there? You said God help. It's not God's job to help. Now I know I'm going to look, everybody going to leave the room now, especially y'all religious folks. Y'all going to leave the room. But understand, I've served God all my life since 14. I am very connected to God. When I say stuff like this, I'm not talking for the devil, right? When God created the earth in 6 days, the Bible says, and he rested on the seventh. When God rested, you know what that meant? That means, man, it's time for you to get busy. And while men are clenching their fists, praying for God to do something, God is looking back at you, said, I created you to do something, man. I made you to have an impact on this world. Listen, anybody religious on here, be as offended as you want. But that's the problem with Christian people, is that we depend on God to do things he made us to accomplish, especially fathers. Let me see. I think I missed some people. I got to get back up here. My man, he crow. Hit the like button, y'all. This man speaks the truth. Thank you, y'all. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, my brother. Let me see. When me and my boys go anywhere, our phones stay in my man. You see what I'm saying? Leave those separators away from you. If family is about togetherness, anything that's going to break that, this is what I'm saying, y'all. It's not y'all. It's the enemy. The Bible says that the enemy that messed with Adam is still messing with man today. He's trying to make us ignorant. He's trying to make man believe. You know why Adam fell? Because Adam believed that he wasn't enough. And some of you right now are going through stuff because you don't feel like you're enough. You always feel like you're lacking something. You got to be something. No, bro. Invest in you. Invest in your family. You're enough for your family. You're enough, bro. Let me see. Oh, goodness gracious. Let me see. All right. All these social media platforms are competing, for our attention, all of our monetization purposes. People don't realize normally when you don't pay for a product, you are the Ron, my guy. Gee, I'm shaking your hand, bro. Brilliant point. We have become the product. And guess whose responsibility it is, Ron? It's not mama's responsibility to understand this wisdom right here. It's fathers. Mothers are nurturers. Mothers give the hugs, the kisses. Mothers share their wisdom, but it's our duty to protect. And see this wisdom Ron just dropped right here? That's more protection than having you understand? All right. Let me see. There's work for us to do. Absolutely. There's definitely work for us to do. Definitely work for us to do. Let me see. Greater works. Greater works. You know, the greater work is to protect humanity. Greater works ain't miracles. Because I know the Bible. I've been teaching it all my life. Greater works aren't miracles. People read that scripture. Greater works shall we do? We gonna do miracles? No. The greatest miracle is to protect the creation. Oh. The greatest work is to protect the creation, not prophecy, not church stuff. The Bible wasn't built for church stuff. The Bible was built for life stuff. You understand what I'm saying? And so when it comes down to it, we are the one. The greater work is to protect the creature. God made the creature. Let me see. All right, Joe, I gotta go. Goodness gracious, I got 1 minute. All right. So the five things our children need from it: emotional presence, leadership and guidance, time and attention. Fourth, teaching resilience. Teaching resilience means that allowing your kid to fail. Stop saving your kid from everything. You understand? Stop saving your kid from everything. Allow your kid to fail. It's part of their It's part of how they're constructed for success. Allow your kid to fail. You know why? Because when we get older, we teach, oh, failure is part of life. But you don't teach your kids that. You teach your kids like they're supposed to win at everything. No, let your kid take an L and teach your kid what an L feels like, and then let them know it's okay. But don't in this world of ups and downs and of people being constructed through failure and success, don't teach your kid that failure isn't part of their journey. As a father, see, as a mother, the mother again, oh baby, it's okay. But as a father, you're supposed to say, hey, it's okay, it's good. Glad you took a loss, man. What did you learn from it? A mother's not going to talk like that. That's why mothers and fathers aren't the same. And maybe we deal with this on Relationship Friday, but part of the biggest problem in relationship is women want men to be how they want them to be, and men want women to be how they want them to be instead of embracing our differences. If men and women embrace our differences, we can get together. We don't embrace our differences. We're trying to clone each other into what we desire instead of respecting how God made each and every one of us. But we'll deal with that on we'll do that for Relationship Friday. That's what we'll do. Friday, Relationship Friday, we'll deal with that. Embracing differences instead of fighting each other all the time. Right? You know, another thing as a father you need to do? Share your own stories of failure. Stop trying to act like a superhero. Your kid already thinks you're a superhero. Understand this. As a father, your kid already thinks you're a superhero. So if you tell them that, hey, man, I messed up, they're not going to look at you like, oh, you're not perfect. No, because the kid doesn't know what perfect is. They already see you as a superhero. So if you add part of your stories of failure to them thinking you're a superhero, then they'll understand, oh, even superheroes mess up. Stop trying to front, man. Right? The Bible says we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and our word of our testimony. You know what's wrong with church people? We talk about the blood of the Lamb. We never want to talk about the word of our testimony. The word of your testimony is the story of what you did right and didn't do right. That also delivers nations. Let me see. And number 5, create legacy. Create legacy. Stop buying Gucci sneakers and create a financial legacy for your children. You buying stuff you buying cars so somebody can say it's a nice car. Who cares? You buying shoes so somebody can say, oh, them shoes is dope. Who cares? Start creating a financial legacy for your children while they're young, right? Start doing that. Because I'm going to say this, and I don't care who it offends. In our culture, we don't do enough of that. Then we wonder why we always climbing the rough side of the mountain. Because as fathers, we need to go get the wisdom that we didn't have growing up to give to our children. The reason why some cultures are rich and some cultures are poor is simple. It's not about money. It's about knowledge. And sometimes as fathers, we can be so in a state of trying to survive that we're not pursuing knowledge that will lift our children up. I'm not against other cultures. I'm just saying I'm wise enough to see the difference. Right? There are some cultures that are teaching their kids the stock market, and they're teaching their kids financial freedom. They're teaching their kids all these things when they're 9 and 10 years old. And in this culture, I don't think we do enough of it. And all of our kids are trying to climb the rough side to get up. It's a father's duty to set up financial future for your kids. And I'm not talking about just wealth in an account. I'm talking about wealth in the mentality. You hear me? And lastly, emphasize the importance of being relational to your kids. Teach your sons how to talk. I am so exhausted with seeing young men can't formulate words. What it tells me is they didn't have a father, right? There's a lot of sons suffering from being fatherless, man. And while we're out here knocking this generation, oh, look at them, they're a bunch of druggies, they're a bunch of murderers, they just this. We're knocking a next generation, not taking responsibility that we weren't there for them. Now, I know somebody going to be selfish right now and say, well, Christian, I don't know, I'm there for my kids. Bro, as a father, you're not just a father to your kids. If you're a father, be a father to kids also who don't have fathers. You understand? Because there's too many kids out here that don't have fathers to just surround your father love or just around your kids. Find other kids you can sow into. Teach them something great. That's part of great fatherhood. Oh my goodness. All right. Oh, I'm 4 minutes over, y'all. I got to get out of here. Let me do this chat and then I'll get out. Okay. All right. Y'all so crazy. Okay. Let me see where we at. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, sister. I listen, man. I'm on here. Listen. I so enjoy y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Hit the like button, everybody, and make sure that you share this for all the fathers out there who don't know how to be fathers. Again, this podcasting is about a knock. This podcast is about teaching other men. Share this with some other guys who are trying to learn. Because if you don't share this, they may never know, man. They may never know. Share this podcast with somebody. Hit that like button and make sure you subscribe. Let me say, good day, my brother. Have a great day, my friend. Thank you for always coming through, man. We love you back. When am I going to come on again? I'm on Brittany. I'm on every morning at 6 a.m. Every single solitary morning at 6 a.m. All right. Let me see. No ninth place awards. Amen. Absolutely. Teach your children that it's okay to take a loss. Be better. Be stronger. Because guess what? Kamara, they got to be stronger in this world. This world don't give no breaks. Let me see. Okay, wrap it up. Take baby girl to school because we got 1 minute, yes, and I'm way over it. We need part 2. All right. Amber Danielle, this is very good. My sister, is so good to see you. I love you so much. Let me see. Watching lets a child learn how to do. Absolutely. Absolutely. My guy, George, man, I love you. Facts. Absolutely. Let me see. Amber, going to school and being the only black girl came with its burdens and challenges. And as an adult, I realized I can't unsee their family structure, values and legacy set up in multiple. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to point. That's facts. Amber, that's facts, Am. Let me see. Yes, this is it. And I enjoy I know you do. You're a great father, man. You're a great father, Bishop Hayward Hamilton. You're a great father. And it's been so many guys eating. And I'm going to say this, even in church, in these religious systems, right? There's a lot of Muslim fathers who don't know how to be fathers. There's a lot of Christian fathers who don't know how to be fathers. You know why? Because in our religious systems, we're teaching everything but the principles, right? You can't teach somebody to praise God but not be a father. You can't teach somebody to be a giver to your church but not be a giver to their children. See, we're missing something in our spirituality. And whenever I challenge the church or challenge any religious system, everybody wants to hate on me. I don't give a damn who hates on me. Because guess what? In our churches, a lot of men learned everything but what it was to be a man. We teach them servanthood. We teach them everything else but what it is to be a father and a husband. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. All right, y'all. I gotta go. I love y'all. Hey, go on my website, get these ebooks, Removing the Shame. For some of y'all that have people in your life that has caused you shame and caused you guilt, go get this book. This book, part 1, I'll be putting out 3 parts, 2 more parts, because this Removing the Shame has 3 parts to it. I taught this years ago, and then I decided to write a book on it, okay? Who's the cause of your delay? There's somebody in your life that's causing your delay. This book teaches you how to find them and root them out of your life, okay? I have another one on my website, Overcoming Fatigue. You can go into the store at christianwinners.com. These books are on sale, ebooks. I think I wrote them only 15 pages, easy, quick read. Both of these books are on sale for $5. Go on my website. Go get these books. All right? All right, guys. Remember this. You matter. You matter to me, but you got to make sure you matter to you. Stand tall today. Make sure you are proud of yourself. Listen, we're going to end this show right here. Just like we do every day. Say it with me. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. All we got is right now. What you going to do with it? What you going to do about it? I love y'all so much. Be brilliant today, and I'm out of here.